what did you make of Melton and looking at what he did there tonight?
Yeah, look, I thought he moved well. And you ran through the stats. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's his first time playing basketball in, about a month and a half? Not quite a month and a half. Only, I think, the fourth game he's played in 2 months now. So he is going to be rusty. But I thought he came off like he was moving well. He was moving off ball to get some shots. The fact that he was able to launch 5 threes is more important than how many of them he made. And he didn't look like he was favoring or showing any kind of discomfort with the back. Now, obviously, the day after and the 2 days after and the week after is more important necessarily than what happened during the game. So there's still a bunch of benchmarks to go through. But I thought he looked good. And what does that mean? Who knows? It's hard to take a piece like that and just throw him back into the starting lineup, given how rusty you expect him to be. So we will see exactly what kind of role he will have, not only down the stretch, but in the playoffs. But the fact that you have a player with his skill set, with his defensive versatility, presumably, possibly back in the lineup would be a really big deal. And this was a big first step. The fact that, like I said, physically he looked like he was there is a little bit surprising to me. Not because you're given anything to suggest he wouldn't, but just because it's been so long and it's been such a nagging injury. That was a real good sign.
And look, I was talking to Derek about this, Derek and Bree, a little bit earlier because of the back. And sometimes when we do these things, I feel like I can add a little bit just because of the injuries, unfortunately, that I've had on the basketball court. The ACL, the Achilles, I've had these major injuries. And I've also had a back injury playing basketball too. Went up for a routine rebound, turned around, boom, my back locked up on me. And that was not good. And since then, of course, I've had gone to the chiropractor and done different things, no surgery, where Ben Simmons is the one that's had to deal with that. That's why I'm really, when it comes to Ben Simmons, as much as he ticked me off just like everyone else, I've laid off of him a little bit just because of the back injury and dealing with it and him actually having surgery. With that said, with Melton, there have been times where, like I was telling Derek and Bree, I only play on the weekends and some days during the week when time permits, but I like to play a couple of times a week and go out there and just play my pickup, play league or whatever it was that I was playing in. No, I didn't play professional basketball. I wish I did. I'm not that good. That's why I lived through my cousin. With it, sometimes I would play on a Sunday, folks. And next thing you know, I think I'm good. And then by the time I get to the next Sunday, I get up that morning and I'm like, yeah, let me text the boys because I don't think I'm going to make it, because my back locked up from the stretching and all the things that you do. Sometimes because you know people and you're like, hey, what kind of thing can I put on my back? Back brace. Wear a little back brace. That's easy for you to move around and still play in it. Even though I'm not a pro, I just like to play. And it's still bothersome. Can you fight through it? Yes. But that pain tolerance, you don't know what it's going to be like. And that's why this thing is so tough with De'Anthony Melton. So to see him out there for these 16 minutes of play in his first game back after basically really 2 months of missing some real competition, it's good to see him out there on the floor. The only problem, of course, is we don't know how much you can count on him down the stretch. But the positive part is he's back. What can he add? A lot. If he can just give you 15 to 20 minutes, and sometimes if it's a great night, 25 minutes, where he can be a big part of your backcourt, a big part of your rotation, because he is certainly part of your 9 if he is able to go, then that's a real addition to the 76ers. The back is a real thing, as we know, so it's very, very good to see Melton out there. And I just hope for him and the Sixers that he's able to give it a real go in the postseason, where he doesn't have to worry about anything. Yeah. And the Heat are up now by 2 after 2 free throws.
And you are worried that it's going to be, game to game. You're just not sure if he's going to be in the lineup. Hopefully that's not the case. But like Devon said, back injuries aren't entirely predictable. But he can't, like I said, this was a key first step. The fact that he looked good was a key indication. He came out, gave you 16 minutes where he looked like an NBA player. Shots and fall, that's fine. I don't give 2 shits about that. But having him back is great.
It was the stuff that he did.
And it really is, like, there's so many. And I think a lot of the players that they have acquired have shown you they might have more to their game than maybe you were expecting when they acquired him. Like Kyle Lowry still looks like he can play a role, whereas, he looked old at times in Miami. That's why they were looking for an upgrade there. Mm-hmm. Campaign has given you a pretty big scoring lift off the bench. Been a spot starter when you need him. Obviously, Buddy has been streaky, but gave you a lift here today. But none of them gave you any kind of real defensive versatility that you're going to need when you go up against Boston's of the world in the playoffs. Melton, even if it is a 15 to 20 minute per game role, that would be a really key 15 to 20 minute per game upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all silly like the mayor.